With the global community already counting down the decade of action for the actualization of the Sustainable Development Goals, the imperative of having all hands on deck to move the development agenda forward in Nigeria cannot be overemphasized. The Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals as the coordinating office for the global agenda in Nigeria has continued to assure of its determination to ensure that Nigeria is not left behind in the race to deliver on the 2030 agenda. It is against this background the office has continued to galvanize stakeholders as well as embark on a series of interventions aimed at accelerating efforts to achieve the goals in Nigeria. In this light, the office recently embarked on the Training of Trainers workshop for the National Youth Service Corps Schedule Officers and Sdgs Development Knowledge Facilitators from the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT. The workshop, which is in pursuance of stakeholders' buy-in to stimulate development efforts at the community level, is also aimed at building the capacity of the trainees to enable them train Nysc corps members known as Nysc SDGs champions to drive the process of localizing the Sustainable Development Goals in line with the country's priorities by translating the 17 goals into concrete actions through advocacy and meaningful engagement for seamless implementation of the SDGs in the 774 local government areas of the country. The training workshop, which is the second edition, was organized in collaboration with the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC. In her keynote address, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, Princess Adejoke Orelokpe Adefulire, said the implementation of the SDGs was centered on capacity building, technology, adequate financing, and multi-stakeholder partnerships. According to her, trainings on youth engagement, particularly at the local communities, cannot be overemphasized as the local government is pivotal to the achievement of the SDGs in Nigeria.
Training on youth engagement, particularly at the local community, cannot be overemphasized. The local government is pivotal to the achievement of SDG in Nigeria. It is the closest tier of government to the people, and as such, the only tier of government that can feasibly understand, monitor, and react to the millions of activities that will collectively add up to the achievement of SDG in Nigeria. More so, youth engagement at the grassroots has been identified as a critical success and strategy to the collective and effective implementation of the SDG implementation. The youth can develop and focus on innovative community engagement mechanisms to ensure that citizens are actively participating in the SDGs through program design, implementation, evaluation, reporting, amongst others. Essentially, we must train and equip our young people, the NYSC champions, who are key partners in the achievement of SDG and Agenda 2030.
She added that the NYSC SDGs champions must seize the opportunities provided to them and utilize them optimally by taking deliberate actions that translate to productive employment for their financial security and sustainable economic growth and development.
The NYSC SDG champion must seize these various opportunities provided to them and utilize them optimally by taking deliberate actions that translate to productive employment for their financial security and sustainable economic growth and development. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I urge you all to cascade this training internally by first training your other colleagues and the NYSC core champion for better and deeper understanding of the SDGs and transformative promise embedded in the economic, social, and environmental dimensions.
The Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, Nysc, Brigadier General Mohammed Fada, who was represented by the Director of Sdgs at the Nysc, Alhaji Abdulrazak Salawu, pledged his support for the program in line with the policy thrust of the Nysc.
Management under my administration will vigorously promote the Nysc SDGs and other viable programs that will support the government and non-governmental organizations in addressing the various daunting challenges confronting the nation's developmental efforts. In doing this, we shall harness the talents of our core members to galvanize the populace into becoming informed participants in the process of attaining inclusive and sustainable national development. In essence, our core members shall be the vehicle which drives the process of bridging the information gap between policies and programs implementation.
The Director General of the Nysc further urged the corps members to take the training seriously to update their knowledge in development issues, especially SDG projects.
I therefore urge you to take the training seriously, as there is the need to constantly update your repository knowledge in development issues, with particular reference to the SDGs project. Such efforts, apart from its capability of enhancing personal development, will also ensure that the core volunteers, that is the champions, get the necessary guidance and quality training, which will make them effective and efficient in the process of project implementation in the field.
The Secretary of Programs in the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, who delivered the welcome address, stated that it was commitment of the office to localize the SDGs in Nigeria that brought about the training.
The training of the trainer is an imperative tool in strengthening capacities for SDGs implementation at grassroots levels in Nigeria.
Still speaking on the objectives of the training, Mrs. Ufoma Dick, Deputy Director, Nysc, said the expectations of the workshop include to explore new ways of accelerating action on the 17 goals to increase effectiveness and efficiency of action.
To explore new ways of accelerating actions on the 17 goals to increase effectiveness and efficiency of action by targeting multiple SDGs for proper tracing of progress and reporting of the SDGs, as well as building synergies among state and non-state actors.
The message from the UN Global Compact Network Nigeria on SDGs was delivered by Mrs. Dolakbo Enejo, while Mr. Monday Evans, the Director Enterprise Development and Promotion, stood in for the Director General of the Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria.
As champions of sustainable business in Nigeria, we are ardent supporters of impact-based programs such as this, where efforts are focused on awareness creation, community mobilization for development, and SDGs project monitoring and reporting. We also commend the key areas that are being addressed through this initiative, which includes sensitizing the public on SDGs and promotion of good moral values, promotion of consciousness on the duties, rights, and obligations of the citizenry, community mobilization for development, information dissemination, as well as the formation of SDGs clubs in schools and other informal settings.
As MEDAN, we believe that SDGs is also key to human development. Of course, the first two goals of the 17 SDGs refers to no poverty, no hunger. And of course, you cannot achieve no poverty, no hunger by doing nothing, or just by wishing it away that we hope there will be no hunger, we hope that there will be no poverty. We need to work very hard towards achieving this. And that is why collaborations are very key. And we're happy that Ossap, SDGs, and Nysc are partnering to make sure that core members who are, of course, scheduled officers and SDGs development knowledge facilitators their capacities are being built to make sure that they can translate these skills gotten within this period to other participants at the 774 local governments.
It is a good thing that the NYSC has gotten a strategic position in the country, being a very strategic partner in carrying down the message of policies, implementation and awareness down to the grassroots. This workshop is very strategic in the sense that the participants here would drive the message down to our NYSC core members who would localize the knowledge learned in the local government areas of the country.
It's pleased to see this collaboration and efforts being put in place by the SDGs towards ensuring that especially our graduates are gainfully employed, even self-employed, other than after their NYSC. This is very commendable because white-collar jobs are no longer very fashionable, but skilled development, skilled workers enrich the nation. As such, we are commending you for putting this together. Critical stakeholders like SMEDA, I would say, when you mentioned our startup market, so I know what SMEDA has been doing, and other organizations who are trying to create jobs among our youth, the population in this country. As such, the ministry is fully in support and will continue to support because together we can achieve greater things. The trainers who are here as to be trained, we call on you to always not look at what is beneficial to you or what is beneficial to the trainees and the country at large.
And in recognition of the efforts, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, Princess Adejoke Orilokpe Adefolire, in strategic mainstreaming of the SDGs in nation building through collaboration with the NYSC scheme, the Director General of the NYSC, Brigadier General Mohammed Kaku Fada, presented the Community Development Service Award of Excellence to the SSAP SDGs.
It's like the mandate of the SDG, so also we are training youth in different entrepreneurship in their camps. That is, we have site use for the youth entrepreneurship and then skill acquisition skill in the camps. The most important thing is after training somebody for 1 year, a graduate, and the 1 year he will be receiving some stipends. After the school, after the mandatory 1 year, if you just go back home and he cannot sustain his income, it's a problem. So for that reason, we need skill acquisition, and SDG is the best partner that will come to our aid, will help us in our camps because of the spray. NYSC is in 36 states and Abuja. So Madam has done it in some of our camps like in Ogun. And now with this partnership and the hand that she have extended of fellowship, I know they will cover most of our state. After a while, we get most of our youth being trained through SDG. And so this is one of the partnerships. We look forward to a lot of stakeholders in the empowerment of youth. And SDG is one of the critical stakeholders that we want to partner, which we have started, and we'll strengthen on it, inshallah.
Receiving the award, the SSAP SDGs thanked the NYSC leadership for the exceptional commitment to fostering unity in Nigeria, as well as for efforts in youth empowerment in accelerating the achievement of the SDGs in Nigeria. The program, Nysc SDGs Champions, was launched in 2017 by the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs in collaboration with the Nysc, as a continuation as part of its effort to prevent the drawbacks found in the implementation of the Millennium Development Goals in Nigeria. For a start, the office mobilized 400 core members across the country to champion the implementation of SDGs in the country. According to the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, Princess Adejoke Orilokpe Adefolere, while giving insight at the launch of the SDGs champion in Kefi, Nasarawa State, she noted that the idea is to take the SDGs to the young and growing generation, to create awareness and to boost their participation as Nigeria intensify efforts to attain the goals and targets. She said one of the major challenges with the implementation of the MDGs was the inability of the communities to take ownership of the project cited in their localities. To this end, the 400 core members are expected to assist in advocacy and sensitization of the SDGs across the 36 states and the 774 local government areas of the Federation. Princess Orilokpe Adefolere stated that the core members will be the representatives of the Office on SDGs, urging them to be a voice for the weak and report any cases of abuse that they see in their communities of service. The SDGs is currently at the centerpiece of the current global development agenda, which envisages a world free from poverty, deprivation, where the fundamental conditions for human survival are safeguarded. The vision, which was endorsed by 189 nations in New York in September 2015, is expected to guide nations, international organizations, private sector, civil society, and governments in all countries in the shared pursuit of a healthier world and a better tomorrow. The excited trainees are alive to these commitments and expressed the readiness.
We shall live it and preach it till we all see a new Nigeria, till we shall be all stakeholders together. Each touch is more. Together, each touch is more.
Also, as part of the strategy of the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals to advocate for sustainable progress and development across the country, the office entered into a strategic collaboration with the UNESCO Read and Earn Federation to incorporate members of the National Youth Service Corps into the August Project, otherwise known as TOP Project, making them not just beneficiaries and advocates of the project, but also global SDGs champions. With the collaboration, the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs committed to support, engage, and equip Nigerian youth with lifelong skills that will enable them live comfortably. A commitment that has produced several beneficiaries across the country since 2019. According to the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, Princess Adejoke Orilokpe Adefulire, developing local talents for global success requires that young Nigerians be exposed to ideologies and tactics needed in international business, trade, and enterprise. There is therefore the need to equip young people who can reinvent themselves while also creating a generation of more knowledgeable and active entrepreneurs who will scale up the country's economic recovery and growth plan via sustainable innovations and job creation, bringing to fruition the ultimate goal of the office's partnership with UNESCO REF, ABE UK, Commonwealth Enterprise and Investment Council, and the University of Canada West. The TAP project seeks to change the narratives about Nigerian youth and entrepreneurship with attainment of the global goals at the fore. In their enthusiasm, the core members and beneficiaries of the project emphasized on how much the project is directly impacting their lives, the long-term benefit, as well as what the skills and training gotten spell for innovation and growth of the Nigerian economy. The TAP project will, over the next decade, train 1.2 million Nigerian youth by building their intellectual, economic capacity and leadership skills to enable them compete favorably as active entrepreneurs in the global market. The objective of the project is to upscale the knowledge of NYSC's SDGs champions by transforming them into active entrepreneurs who will be able to initiate startups and expand businesses beyond the Nigerian frontiers, while helping these youths develop their digital and entrepreneurial capacities, stimulates the growth of micro, small, and medium enterprise, as well as address the growing menace of youth unemployment and restiveness, as well as irregular pastures. The above objectives will have a rippling effect on the success of particularly SDG 4, quality education, Goal 8, decent work and economic growth, and Goal 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure.
Hello, my name is Oluwaseyi Mojo. I'm a 21-year-old environmentalist and changemaker from Nigeria. Since I was 16, I have been creating and developing projects and programs towards addressing and mitigating the issues of plastic pollution and climate change. So far, through my organization called You Recycle Initiative Africa, we have engaged over 7,000 young people across 11 African countries, inspiring them to become problem solvers and action takers for our planet and oceans. I'm also a National Geographic Young Explorer and a High Seas Alliance Youth Ambassador. So the theme for this year's World Environment Day was Only One Earth. And the theme for this year's World Oceans Day was Revitalization, Collective Action for Our Ocean. These are two strong themes that help to highlight the current issues our planet is facing, from rising sea levels to heightened pollution in our ocean, land, air, to biodiversity loss, and so many other issues. All of this calls for more collective intentional actions by citizens at the grassroots, by government at the top, by private sector, to collaborate together towards protecting our earth, the only one earth we have. So it's like a reminder for us, and what signifies to me as a young person is running an organization. It means that we have to keep pressing, we have to keep ideating, we have to keep mobilizing for real concrete actions by young people and for young people towards protecting the future of our planet and even the present. So I think one very interesting thing to note is how very interconnected the SDGs are. The SDGs are so interrelated such that without achieving one, we can't achieve the other, right? Most of the environmental related SDGs are targeted towards ensuring that we can protect and restore our environment in such a way that we can prosper as humans and other biodiversity can also prosper. Our planet can also thrive such that in the present such that the present is able to meet its need, the present generation are able to meet their need without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs. So I think it's very commendable that the government has taken a step to make this commitment towards addressing the issue of climate change. But beyond all of that, beyond talking about it, beyond writing about it, I think it's now up to everyone to collaborate together to ensure that this commitment comes to a reality. For instance, in the fashion industry, it has been really noted that a lot of waste and a lot of emissions is being emitted from such industry. So how can we address that issue, right? In terms of pollution, how can we reinforce extended producers' responsibility such that plastic production companies are made to be very, very accountable about how much waste they are releasing to the environment, how that is affecting the marine ecosystems, how that's affecting vulnerable coastal communities, disrupting their lives and affecting biodiversity, and how they want to take more action towards addressing this issue more concretely. It might be somewhat hard, but it is achievable.